Hello everybody, this is Dedra with Paper Crafts and Planners, and I have the latest Club EP Echo Park subscription box here. This is the large one. It's the 12 by 12 box, and it contains 12 by 12 papers in, I should say. So the one that's available now, this is June by the time this is going up, is the card makers, and it's the smaller one with the 6 by 6 pad and a stamp set. And it is available now on the site, so I will link to that. It's June. Now, I subscribe to both of them, but you can subscribe to one or the other, or you can order them individually. So this particular collection, this Farmhouse Summer, all of this put together, is not available right now, but the collection itself is usually available, all of the different pieces, on scrapbook.com. So I will link to that in case this is a collection you just really want to have. I subscribe to this. It is $29.99 a month for the big kit and $19.99 for the card makers, and that includes your shipping. This big kit is, they're opposite months. You can go on there and decide you want to skip a month, and the way I do that is I subscribe through my PayPal, so they always send me an invoice rather than automatically charging a card that I have on file. So then I can go look at it, say, oh, I have too much of that kind of theme and I don't want it, and I will say I won't pay it that month. But then the next time I'll have to go back and resubscribe. If you don't want to subscribe and you just want 1 month at a time, I think it's $32.99 for the big kit. I'm not sure for the small kit. I'd have to look it up. Anyway, this one's called Farmhouse Summer. Here's the inspiration sheet that you always receive. Really cute. There are always some cut files that you can go on, some downloadable cut files that you can go on the website and find also. Okay, I've taken the plastic off of this so you can kind of not get as much of a glare with my ring light. This is a really pretty floral. I'm having trouble finding the end to show it to you. Tiny, tiny yellow flowers on here. Really pretty. This is the Ephemera Pack. Let's see, you have like a directional wind, oh boy, I can't think of the name. Anyway, that goes on top of a house or a barn. Some little tags. Our happy place, home is where your heart is. And you'll find with these kits, everything that's on the ephemera, you're going to find it again in the papers and again in the chipboard. Happiness is homemade. The big kits come with chipboard. Farm, farm, farm. This can pop out in the middle, so you could just use the frame separately if you wanted. Come sit and stay a while. Oh, that's pretty. You could stamp right on that. Love that. You've got an old-timey truck. Cute. Home sweet home. Love makes a house a home. Make every day count. It says love. Oh boy, I cannot read that. Love. I don't know. The print is so small between the love and the home. I do not know what that says, but we might see it bigger in the paper. Homemade with love. I do not have good eyes, so you might be able to read it. Gathered together. The good life. Oh, I love these little things for the insides of the cards, these little banners. You got quite a selection of those. The very best days are spent at home together as a family. Home sweet home. A little watering can. It's a weather vane. That's what that thing is called. I knew it would come to me. You are my home and my adventure all at once. There's some little flowers. Again, beautiful inside the card. Hello, blessed. The best days are happening right now. Welcome home. Life is better when we are all gathered together. Okay, so that's the Ephemera Pack. There are some enamel dots that coordinate. Really pretty. Here is the 6 by 6, and it is double-sided paper 24, so there's probably 2 of each design. And they're double-sided, so I love these strips to use on cards. All really pretty. I love all of this so far. Oh, look at the little metal tins with flowers. Oh, we've got some squares here. Bless this house. There's no place like home. It's the little things in life. And again, something you can stamp on. Now, I've been coordinating, oh, that's pretty print, some things into the 3 by 4s and the 4 by 6 cards for pocket scrapbooking. So about half of these little cut aparts will probably go with that. And I'll show you how I'm organizing those. Together is our favorite place to be. Live in the moment. Love makes Love makes a house a home. So that's what that other one said in the middle. Makes a house a barns. And here's some really pretty for journaling on your scrapbook layouts. And then I think we're starting over. Yes, we're starting over. So that's the designs. Let's see. Yes, all the same thing, all the way through, 2 of each, 24 double-sided. And here are your chipboard pieces. Again, repeating the same things we've seen. I love that rocking chair. And then here are the 12 by 12s. And they're just usually just a bigger print of what we have seen in the 6 by 6. And this one's called Farmhouse Garden, and it has an item number. When you go on scrapbook.com, sometimes they have just the single sheets. And so knowing the name helps. Here's a big cut apart sheet. I love that. And this one is called 3 by 4 journaling cards. And I love these strips at the bottom too. I generally use those. And this one is called Perfect Day Plaid. This one is Fresh Picks. And here are some 4 by 4 cards, which those are nice. And this one is called 4 by 4 journaling cards. That makes sense. All the weather vanes on the back. Here's that really bold floral. And this is called Blessed Blooms. So these colors are very close to colors I just did with a Close to My Heart collection. So I'm thinking some of the solid colors that work with that might work with this also. I'll have to get them out and see. Farmhouse Plaid is what this is called. Oh, I love all the different colors. And look at these little strips you can cut apart to use on cards. You and me together. Happiness is homemade. Blessed. Thanks. Happy. Love. Thanks so much. So definitely the thank you. The hello sunshine. Always live simply. I don't know if I put that on a card, but definitely the others. And then there's some journaling pieces too. And this one's called multi-journaling cards, which again totally makes sense. There's those little flowers that they have in the washi. Simple Summer Flowers, this one. Oh, look at these tags. I love those. Maybe a slimline card with 3 or 4 of these tags across. That would be really pretty. And this one is called Farm Tags. Look at those. I love those. Okay. This one is called Farmhouses. That makes sense. And here's some more. Always take the time to be together as family. I love that too. And this one's called 6 by 4 journaling cards. So you can see we have a lot to work with here. Oh, there's a sticker sheet. I almost forgot to show that to you. And again, it's the same things that we've seen on the ephemera and on the chipboard and on the cut aparts. These same elements on here that repeat, which makes it really nice to be able to coordinate something like a scrapbook layout, couple page spread, or what I think these colors would really look good in my living room. And so like one 12 by 12 and a 12 by 12 frame would look really pretty too. So what I'm going to do first is pull out some solid colored paper that I think would coordinate. Probably find one of my stamp sets. There is a card drive going on right now. If you're watching this in real time, Biddy Penny here on YouTube and Instagram, she is doing a card drive for Uvalde right now, Uvalde, Texas. And if you're watching this way farther down the road, you might not know what that means. You'll have to Google it. I'm not going to go into the whole thing. But she's doing a card drive right now, and I've already done 54 cards to send to her. But I may get out some Thinking of You, You're in My Thoughts, with Deepest Sympathy, some more of those, and use with these too, so I can get some more cards to send to her. So I may do that. But anyway, I'll get all of decide which cut aparts I'm going to use on this video and which ones I'm going to put aside for my pocket scrapbooking, and I'll let you know that. So let me get all set up and we'll decide what we're going to do. For this first card design, I cut some mini slimline card bases. So these are cut at 6.5 by 6 1/4, scored at 3 1/4. So you end up with 6 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch. And then all I did with this was cut one of the 6 by 6 sheets in half. So I have a 3 by 6 piece. And then I trimmed out these little tags that were part of the set. So we're going to use those. So let's go ahead and I'll show you what we're going to do here. Oh, this was one of the cut apart sheets had these little strips with different sayings on them. I thought those were just so cute. I wanted to use them just as they are. Okay, so we're going to hear this piece directly on. Oops. I am trying to use up some of these little tape runners that I received for free in various, let's see, which way does this go? In various packages from scrapbook.com, or I ordered them when they were on deep discount. I'm not very good at it because I like that little bit of wiggle room with the liquid adhesive, but we're going to do this anyway. See how it goes. See if I can pull this off. Okay, so for these, I think I'm going to place the ones on each end first, so I kind of got the same distance. Let's see, let's do this color here. How does that look? And I do think these are a little bit movable. If you don't get them quite straight, you can come back and move a little bit. Just don't press them down really until you've got them where you want them. Okay, so I've got this Hello There Sunshine, and I thought I would pop it up in some foam tape. So let's get a few pieces here. I love this one on the roll. It's just so convenient to clip off just a little piece a little bit at a time. And I also end up with these little pieces I've stuck on top that are sort of left over when I didn't need them on another card. The only thing is the peeling up can be take a little bit of time. I didn't pull my tool-in-one tool out, so I'm having to do it with my fingers. So there we go. I think we're going to put it right about there. That's how I've done it on the others. Just put it across there. And then just to kind of even out, I'm going to put one of the chipboard pieces there and one there. So let's see, can we use that little runner for this? I know there are people that use these runners for everything, so just not one of them. There's that one. And we'll put this little one up in the corner. Okay, see how that goes. Okay, I think that looks cute. I've cut a piece to go on the inside. Oh, everything's sticking to my tape runner. Did you see that? I have a few things off my desk that just stuck to it. Okay, there might be reasons I don't use tape runners normally. Maybe I'm too sloppy of a crafter. Is that a thing? I bet it is, because it looks like it's going to stick to everything. So let's try to get that even. All right, close enough. And then here are one of the little flags that came with the Ephemera Pack. And we're just going to put it right up here in the corner. So there's that one. I did a few more, exactly the same layout. You amaze me. Thanks so much. And then the thanks. I think those turned out really cute. So I just did 4 of these little Slimline cards. Okay, here are a couple of very simple ones I did, these Slimline cards. And these are the regular Slimline. So you cut them at 7 by 8.5, 8.25, no, 8.5, 7 by 8.5. Fold them at 3.5 inches, so you have 3.5 by 8.5. All I did with this one is I told you that I thought I had some paper from a Close to My Heart collection that would really go with this, and it did. It matched perfectly. So I will link to it if it's still available. It was like a May collection, but if it's still available, I will link to it because the paper, the cardstock paper that went with that collection, you can buy it in a pack, and it just matches this beautifully. So all I did was I cut a couple of to look like hills. And I did ink around them. I inked around them a little bit with this Vintage Photo Distress Oxide just to give it some depth around there. And these are all stickers from the sticker pack. I put them down on some white paper and traced around them, and then I just placed them on the hills there. And this is just a happy birthday stamp from my stash. And I just thought the curve that it went with, you know, with the hills, it looked cute. Again, these are just stickers, and that is a sticker also. And then in the background, I just put some of that blue check paper exactly cut to the size of this Slimline card, or the front of the Slimline card, and I thought that turned out really cute. Okay, on this one, same thing with the cut exactly to the front of the Slimline card. I had a thinking of you stamp that I've been using a lot making those Uvalde cards, and so this one will probably join the collection of the Uvalde cards. This was just a cut apart piece, and I took a die set that I have, and it is called Deckled Rectangles. Let me show you. I have one right here. So this is what it looks like. It's a Spellbinders die, and it comes in a few different sizes, like 4 or 5. I will see if that's still available. If it is, I will link to that. I took some dark paper that came with the 6x6 pad. This was part of the double-sided pack. And then I just mounted this right on top and stamped the thinking of you. So the reason I didn't do a whole lot of flowers over here, anything to even it out, is because I didn't do a whole lot of cards in my Uvalde set that could be masculine or feminine. And I know there are some flowers here, but I really think this could go to anybody. And then on the inside of my cards, I'm just cutting these white bases and using the little flags that either came with the sticker pack or the Ephemera Pack to put on there. Okay. Okay, for this one, I just cut a piece of double-sided paper, and I cut it almost to the size of this. So I cut it like 3 3/8 by 8 3/8. But if you don't want to do these odd measurements, just do it 3 1/2 by 8 1/2. And then I kind of cut around some flowers. We're going to fussy cut those out. I took that same Thinking of You stamp. I took a piece of this green, and then I flagged the ends. I just stamped it on there and flagged the ends. So let's fussy cut these. And I thought that I would just kind of put one in the middle, and then one up in one corner and one up in the other. I think that will look cute. So let's fussy cut these really quickly, and then we will see where we're going to place them down. Okay, it's just a matter of deciding how we want to lay these out. I think I'm going to do this one up here, and I'll be trimming a little bit of this off, obviously, when I get it on. Yeah, because it already had that flat edge. I think I'm going to put it right there. All right. And we'll trim that little bit off the top there. And then this one will go on the bottom. Maybe like that. I'd like the rest of those leaves to be on there, so I think right like that. Okay. And again, we'll trim a little bit off the sides there. And these just came from that really wild floral print that had such big, bold flowers on it. So I think we're going to do that like that. And then this Thinking of You a little lower on the card. And maybe we'll have that flower overlap a little bit. So let me put the Thinking of You on there first. And I'm going to line it up right there with that line so I know I'm getting it straight. Fairly straight. And then I think I'm going to put this one right like that. I think that's pretty. And I'm also noticing I'm getting a lot of this runner on my mat, which could be a problem as I go along here making cards. So right like that, and then there's some extra runner where I don't want it. We'll do that. And then let's just put the whole panel on the front of the card. And it's almost fitting, so we're just going to have a little tiny bit showing. There we go. That looks good. And then I haven't done a panel for the inside, but all I'm going to do is a white panel, and I'll probably put a little banner at the top, but I think that turned out really cute, fussy cutting those flowers. Okay, on these next few cards that I designed, I had some invitations I was doing for a cousin, and so I had a lot of gatefold cards to make. So if you don't know what those are, I made them in the standard A2 size. So this is an 8.5 by 11 piece of craft cardstock. I sliced it right down the middle, and then I ended up with a piece like this without this score in the middle. So I ended up with a piece like this, 2 of them, okay? So what you do with this is you put them on whatever scoring board you have, and you're going to make a score at 2 1/8. Then you're going to flip it around and you're going to make a score at 2 1/8. So the score in the middle is not there. And let me show you what that looks like when you're done scoring that. And you fold in those sides to meet the middle. Then you have this gatefold card. So these should be even if you did everything right. Mine weren't always exact. But for her invitations, I was die cutting these edges and they met up and it looked just absolutely fine, even if they were maybe 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch off. Anyway, I had some extras that I had cut in case I made a mistake, because that happens. And so what I did was I cut 2 panels at, you can do them right at 2 1/8 by 5 1/2, or you can do them just under, whatever you choose to do, a little bit smaller if you want. But the size is 2 1/8 by 5 1/2 then, if you've done this correctly. So we are going to adhere these panels to the side, and I like that side too, but we're going to do the little farmhouses, barns, I don't know, farmhouses, something like that. Okay. Oh, I'm getting a lot of glue boogers. I need to get better at this tape runner. I am sure there is a system or a technique to doing it. I've seen people do where they kind of twist at the end so that it stops the tape. So we'll try that. Maybe that's it. Okay. Okay. Well, that does work. Okay. I'll give that a shot. And if you don't have your panels cut exactly the same on both sides, you find out as you're doing this, or scored exactly the same, just kind of line them up and you're going to have the same kind of gap going down the middle. And I didn't do a piece, but on the inside I would just put a white piece and decorate it like I would any of these other cards. Okay, again I used that Deckled Rectangle and I cut a piece. I'm going to use the little orangey side, and I'm going to use this green that I had in my stash. And I put a little sticker from the sticker pack, and then I just stamped a hello friend. Let's ink around these. I kind of wish I'd done it with those panels I just put down, but I think it would look good if we ink around this and even come in a little bit. Since we're using craft card bases, I think this vintage photo looks really nice with it. And like I said, I'm kind of tilting so I get some of that brown going in more on the corners. And probably should have done this before I put that sticker down, but that's okay. And there were a lot of stickers. There's a lot of ephemera, so you have a lot of things to play around with, including when you decorate the inside. Okay, so the thing to remember about this is so that it will open, we are only going to put adhesive on 1/2 of this, right? And then we're going to stick it down and just try to get it even on both sides. It can be up a little higher. I think that actually looks nice if it's up just a little bit higher, like that. And then this piece is going to go straight down on there. We can put adhesive on the whole thing because it's going to go on that piece that isn't adhered down on one side. So it's not going to make any difference. Okay, there you go. And then it'll just open up like this. And you're going to see the back, that floral piece on the back, so it doesn't matter. And so these were just cut apart sheets that I did this one with. And I thought this, you are my home and my adventure all at once. I thought, I'm not going to use that on a card. But you know what? This would be cute for an anniversary card for my husband. I think that would be nice. And then this one does not have a sentiment, so you could put a sentiment on the inside. And again, I would just cut a panel that's like 4 by 5 1/4 to go on the inside there. This one says happiness is homemade. This would be a nice thank you card maybe for someone who gave you a homemade gift or a handmade gift. Make every day count. And thank you so very much. This is my favorite, the thank you one. I think that will come in handy the most. Anyway, so there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those I made. Okay, I have a couple of easy A2 card designs here. So I have the craft colored card base. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So 2 from a 8 1/2 by 11 inch piece of paper. This is one of the cut apart cards. This is also, but what I did was I trimmed around the oval part in the middle. I just thought it looked better on this one. And then we're going to ink up the edges. I think I've already done it on this one. These are just 2 pieces that I cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is the flip side of that paper. I love this kind of mustard orange color on here. Okay, and we're going to just ink those. And again, I like to come in a little bit. I just like the way that looks to get as much kind of uneven, distressed look on it with this vintage photo. I used to do this a lot, and I got away from it, and then I've kind of come back to it. And it just gives, I think, a finished look, if you're not, especially if you're not going to use another color to matte around some of the elements. And I don't think I'm going to do it on that, am I? Maybe I will. I'm not going to use this whole strip, but we'll go ahead and ink around it. And then I'll ink again when I have the cut edge. Okay, so for this one, we're just going to put this right at the top of this piece. Wouldn't it be nice if I actually get better at using a tape runner by the end of this? The benefit of using the tape runner for this video is I'm kind of having to figure it out. Okay, we're going to put this piece down here. Put it against one edge. Well, this is the edge I inked, so let's do it that way. Okay, and I'm just going to do it. I'm going to leave a little space at the bottom. No rhyme or reason for it. Just make it as even as possible, which is a little easier because of this design here. I need a little bit more right there. And then we'll trim this off. Excess. And now we have another piece to go on something else. I'm going to ink this little edge there so I don't have that stark white there. Line it up at the bottom. All I'm doing is just lining it up at the bottom here and placing it down. And then I have an inside piece I've cut out of some thinner paper that I have lying around my craft room that I need to use up, this thinner white paper that I'm not a huge fan of for most things, but the insides of cards, that's a perfectly good spot to put it. Let's see how the tape runner does on this. Let's see. Thin paper. And I cut this a little bit smaller, so I cut it at 4 1/4 by, no, 4 by 5 1/4. So you have that little piece around there. And then I thought I would put maybe a strip like this going down of this plaid that matches around the card in the front. So, and of course, did I cut it first? No. I'll just cut it there. And I will ink around this also, so it'll kind of match on these edges. And then we're just going to adhere it down that side. Okay, I appreciate those that are going with me with my struggle of using this tape runner. Those of you who use them all the time are probably like, what is her problem? But I really like my liquid glue. Okay, so on this one I've already inked around, and this is the back side. So I had this little strip, so I thought we would just put it across the middle like that. So let's do that first. And try to get as even as possible here using this that little pattern that we have on the paper. And then we're going to put this guy right there. And I think these are both, one of them actually says thank you very much, and this other one says it's the little things, and I think that makes a great thank you card also. You can write your thank you message on the inside. Did this one I cut? Oh, this one I cut smaller. Okay, that's probably why I had such a big piece left over for the middle. Maybe I planned that yesterday. I don't know. Anyway, so this looks like it's 4 by 5 1/4, which is the same as the piece we're going to put in the middle. Now, you may notice when I get to the end of this video, usually I like to totally use up this pack of paper, and what's left over I turn into little cards for my pocket scrapbooking. However, this time I'm purposely on this video leaving some paper, and I'm going to use it for a sheet load of cards. Alicia over at Call Me Crafty Owl does her sheet load template, and she just put it up. It is really nice. I do enjoy it. Her sheet load, and this one is a fun fold card. So I'm going to do that as a separate video, but use the same collection. Oh, I should have cut that before I start inking. Let's see. See if I can get that cut straight and even. Since once again, I put the piece down first. Okay, there we go. It's going to be close enough. So I want to use this collection for the sheet load also. I usually do her sheet loads along with some other things, you know, as part of another video. But last month I got called out on it. Somebody said, why are you putting the sheet load hashtag on this? Well, because I did make a sheet load of cards. So this month I'm doing it separate, a separate video. So it'll be up a few days after this one, but it will be using the same collection and the leftovers I have from making these cards, but making the sheet load. And I think that I'm going to do those with the sympathy sentiments and the thinking of you sentiments, so I can include those in the box for the card drive for Uvalde. Okay, I have another simple card to show you. By the way, when I just said I was called out for it, I was not called out on it by Alicia, and I actually checked in, Call Me Crafty Owl, I actually checked in with her afterwards to make sure I hadn't done anything wrong by doing other cards at the same time, and she assured me I hadn't. It was someone random who's not on her design team or her. So, anyway, someone that I actually subscribed to, and I really enjoy her videos, so it was just an odd out of the blue thing, but I don't want to offend anybody or have anybody come to my channel specifically just looking to see my sheet load of cards and then finding that I've done other cards. I guess that's not cool for some people, so, and it may be for a lot of people, and it just never occurred to me that that might be an issue for somebody to see me make other cards at the same time. I don't know. So just to be on the safe side, and so that no one comes to my channel looking for a sheet load and doesn't appreciate that I've made some other cards, we're going to change it up this month, and I'm going to do I am going to do my sheet load separate. Okay, I'm going to trim this off first so I get the right, and I think I'm going to take the white off both ends. So I just want this to be even, the same size, so I'm going to trim it first before I adhere everything to the front of this card. Okay, so what we're going to do is I have this piece, and this was one of the cut apart cards. I trimmed it down a little bit, and then I just stamped a thank you message there. And I'm going to do it just like that. Okay, so let's put this piece down first. I just want to see how much room I left around the edges of this. So this is cut just about maybe a 1/16 of an inch smaller than the card base. And this looks like it's cut about 1/4 of an inch, the pieces I'm going to put on the front. So let me measure so I can tell you. So this one looks like it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 3/4, but I know I'm going to overlap a little bit. Oh, that is not straight. Let's see if I can fix it with this runner. Okay, that wasn't too bad. All right, so I'm going to put this one's going to overlap a little bit just so I have 1/4 of an inch all the way around. So I could have cut this one smaller, but I just left the card pretty much the way it was. And I'm going to put the adhesive down like this and try to line it up and get the same amount top, bottom, sides as I did that other piece. And then we're going to put this right there, just so I have some little, just a little bit of a separation between these two. I like that. Okay. If I can get that even, I think that's pretty even. And again, on the inside, just put a white panel and whatever decor. There's so much with these. You could put strips all the way across. You could put, you'd stamp something. You could put a little piece of ephemera, whatever you chose to do. There's so much in the way of possibilities with this kit. Okay, so what I like to do with these paper collections, especially when I'm cutting my own card bases, is make some of these little 3x3 cards. They're really useful to throw into a gift bag with a happy birthday message or whatever message you need. They're also useful for me to put into any orders I receive with the thank you message on them. So not only are they useful, but I usually, when I cut the Slimline and the mini Slimline cards of my own card bases, I have this big strip left over, a long strip left over, and it's very easy to cut that to 3 inches by 6 inches and have it, fold it in half and have these little cards. Also, you get these strips left over from cutting paper down of the printed paper, and also you have these strips that come with the paper collection that have a hole in the middle of them, and we're going to cover that up so we can use these pieces. So I've put adhesive all over a 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 piece of white paper that I'm going to put on here. And so let's put this about in the middle, this first one where the hole is about in the middle, because we're going to cover it up with this. So I know I can get about 3 pieces with holes on them as long as I line them up to where the holes are kind of even going across, because this is going to cover. So let's see what else we have that might have a hole in it that we can use. Oh, that one's cute. It's white on the other side. So we're going to use this one. Oh, it's got a little, some of them had glue. And so when you take them out of the pack, you end up with that. And I don't like that. So we're not going to use that there. Let me see what else we have. This one's cute. Okay, so I'm going to put the hole right about there. And then let's see if we have another one we need to use up that has a hole in it. We might not, because I've already made several of these. And so I might have used, oh, this one does. Okay, so let's put this one a little higher so it's going across. So you can see how that's going to cover all 3 of those holes up. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so what's next? We've got a check there. So that's too many florals together. So let's do this stripe. And I kept all these little snippets because you can see how now this piece lines up. It's already been cut on one side, so it lines up. Oh, it's not quite long enough. Never mind, it doesn't line up yet, but we might put it right there on the end. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so we've got a blue piece there. I do this solid kind of because it's got the same color as that. Just put it right there. And then maybe we will do this piece that we have a little snippet of, and it's already cut on one corner right there. Okay, so what do we need here? We need a plaid or a check or something other than a floral. Oh, there we go. Put that in there. And you don't have to obsess over this, really. It's just make it fun. Do what you want. Let's use this. Is that too much of a... No, I don't think so if we pick this other color. There we go. That color there, and then we're going to do a floral here on the end. Let's turn it maybe with those pink showing. That's cute. Okay, and then I'm just going to flip it over. I'm going to take some big scissors that glue will not adhere to, or it will come right. If it does, you can just peel it right off the scissors. These are some I've had for a while, and they're an old pair when Fun Stamper's Journey was a thing. Was a company, but I know a lot of, I think Tim Holtz has some that are non-stick. A lot of companies do. Close to My Heart does also. And I'm just going to cut these down, make sure I don't have any pieces left. Okay, and then I'm going to come and put my adhesive on the back. Am I doing it upside down again? Yes. This is a process with that thing. Okay, let's get it to where, there we go. And you could come in and ink the edges of this too. That would be really cute with this craft paper. And then we're going to just adhere this piece right there. And then we have some cute little cards. And I have another piece here that I'm going to put on the inside. Maybe I want to put a strip of something. Just so it's cute, just to add some detail there. That's cute. Let's do that. Oh, it's a flower on the other side. Nope, I already made up my mind. Do what I said. Do this little country looking plaid. And then I'll make sure to trim any off the back side. Oops, I've got a lot of pieces that are, there we go. Trim that off, and then we're going to adhere this in the middle. And I think we'll do that strip going a long way. Going vertical. There we go. So I think these are just darling, these little cards. When you get done, I made 5 of these. So let me gather all the things I made and I'll show you what I came up with. Okay, here are the A2 size cards that I made. I think really pretty and just so simple. Here are the gatefold ones that I made. So there's 2 regular A2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the gatefold A2 size cards. I have made some slimline. 1. This one goes this way. 2, 3, 4 slimline cards. I have made some mini slimlines. I really love this design with the little tags on the front. And I made 4 of those. And then I made some of these little, upside down, some of these little gift tag, note card, thank you cards. And 2, I think I made 5 of these. 3, 4, 5 of those. Then I have all of this that I'm going to be putting. These are some cut aparts that I thought were just so cute, but they didn't work for cards for me. Some are big 4x6s. I generally don't make really large cards. So I have all of this. I have this system that I'm using from, this is a scrapbook.com. Oh, I'm really close to this. This is scrapbook.com, and it is just a container like this. I have the little dividers for it. I have one that's my spring and summer collections, and then one that's winter and fall. So I'm going to go through these. Some things I'm going to pull out because they would be better as a gift tag, like something like this I might use as a gift tag. And some I'm going to just put in there in that collection just the way they are. I have labeled these by the collection, or, you know, if it's like a club EP, what was it? What was the collection name? Like this was Fresh Paint from Close to My Heart. I had some cards that went with that, and so I know what that means when I see that. And then some of them just say all year long because there's something that really works all year long, and some of them say beach or girly, that kind of thing. So I'm going to arrange these probably with their own little area for this summer. I think it's called Summer Farmhouse Collection. And I'm also going to make another video where I do a sheet load of cards with what's left of this collection. So I hope you'll come back for that in a couple of days. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Happy crafting.